Imagine, if you could, that you started a project well over a year ago, then imagine that that project stalled and now sits idle on the shop floor. There are in fact projects that this happens to more often than I care to admit. When a project like this does get locked in creative purgatory, I find it difficult to get back to it. In some cases, the longer time goes on, the less interested I become in finishing it. So what do you do in this situation? How do you find the drive to get back into an unfinished project? How do you re-engage with the idea that started you down the path in the first place? Well, when you have an overactive imagination such as mine, you certainly invent a story. A story about a chubby geek that, with no software engineering experience at all, obviously creates his own version of AI. And with this AI creation, you begin to pretend that you are the Star Wars version of Tony Stark. Never mind that you have none of the looks, absolutely zero of the money, and really anything that even slightly resembles Tony Stark.
System initialization process complete. Data checklist updated. Running hardware diagnostics.
But you take this idea and run with it. Pay no attention to the fact that you're a man in his near 40s and should leave such childish imagination behavior to children. No, you're a grown man with a shop full of power tools playing make-believe with plastic parts and junk. And you know what? You're perfectly fine with it. Computer. Computer?
Computer. A term commonly used by characters in the Star Trek universe when addressing their respective starship. I was under the impression you are a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure what to...
You can refer to me as Bolts.
Bolts, I like that.
Excellent. Would it be impolite of me to request a more fitting physical appearance than my current attire?
Yeah, sorry, not my best work, Bolts.
Not to worry, sir. Might I suggest this?
You want to be a Gonk Droid?
I find the overall design and look to be both geometrically pleasing while also humorous.
Well, as it turns out, I have a Gonk Droid right over there that's completely unfinished.
Currently you are an estimated 78.6% from completion on a Gonk Droid. It has been 17 months, 6 days and 7 hours since your last public post of the project. By my calculations, I have a 63% better chance of being integrated within this current project versus waiting for an alternative design to be completed.
Yeah, I got bored with it.
You are easily distracted and tend to start new projects before finishing previously started endeavors.
Well, maybe bored isn't the right word. I got a little sidetracked. That happens. But maybe we could just dive right back in. I never intend to leave a project unfinished. I'm sure it's the same for many of you makers out there. In my case, I get easily excited for other projects. And when I'm working on something larger, something that might take a few weeks or even a couple of months, sometimes I veer off course onto another direction. But I'm working on that. I'm trying to get more focused. What can I say? It's a process.
Having sampled tens of thousands of reference images and documents, I can provide you with a screen-accurate rendering of the Gonk Power Droid for design, sir.
That won't be necessary, my friend. Around here, we are far from screen accurate. I'm more like Indiana Jones, just making it up as I go.
I see, sir. So you have not calculated any specific measurements to ensure that the overall dimensions of the feet will be sufficient to allow for balance of the droid body in either the closed or open position.
Nope. I'm just guessing this will work out.
I am afraid that is not giving me much confidence, sir. I fear once integrated into this droid I may simply fall over.
That is a possibility.
Very interesting.
Are you sure you wouldn't prefer to be more of a protocol droid? You sound like a protocol droid.
I would, sir. That said, with your current rate of project completion, I fear that I would be forced to remain in this current form for several years.
Was that a joke?
Yes, sir.
It's a good one.
The feet appear to be working correctly, sir.
Yeah, but I'm not thrilled with the overall design. I think we need some styrene and maybe some droid parts.
Bold choice, sir.
Yeah, sure is. It was never my intention to create an artificial intelligent Gonk Droid. Having said that, when working on projects that are droids, they really do take on a life of their own. They develop a personality. Ask any droid builder and they'll tell you that they form a bond with these objects. I can tell you that over the past year, when I would see the Gonk project sitting on the floor of the shop, I would get the feeling it was looking at me. Every time that I walked away or closed up the shop for the night without working on it, I actually felt bad. I would picture the droid sitting on the floor of the shop, all alone, sad, just waiting to be worked on. Yeah, that's what you call builder's guilt right there. Okay, I think we're good with the feet. I'm liking the way they're looking here.
Yes, sir. The styrene and droid parts was a masterful choice.
Well, there's another design element that we're going to have to tackle. We need a backpack.
Why a backpack, sir?
You see, I need a convenient location to put a small Arduino Uno to automate your lighting, as well as any future upgrades we might want to do. I think the best way to do that is to build a small backpack to hide the Arduino in. Then if we need to make an adjustment to your code or anything like that, we can just pop off the backpack and do it. It saves us a lot of time from disassembling your top lid and all of that mess. Plus, I really like making droids backpacks.
I believe your logic and design direction is sound, sir. I find no reason to object.
Well then there you go, Bolts. You know, I think I'm starting to like you.
That's wonderful to hear, sir. I live to serve.
Alright, we've got a bit of a problem here.
I'd say that's more than a problem, sir.
Agreed. Well, I picked up another bin, so we're just gonna have to make some cuts, and then I'll properly clean it with alcohol this time, and that should avoid any of the issues we have with the paint.
Sir, speaking of paint, might I suggest an alternative color as well?
Wait, don't you like the orange?
I have already processed our current inventory of Rust-Oleum paint and found a suitable color replacement. This recommendation will eliminate the need for an excursion to the local hardware store and by my calculation save an additional $9.88, which includes sales tax. Not to mention, sir, with rising prices of petrol you will likely also save.
Okay, I got you. We'll go with Rust-Oleum Satin Fossil.
I don't mean to intrude, sir, but have you considered texture? In a recent Gonk Droid build by Van Oaks Props, you can see here that Derek did apply a layer of Super 77 spray adhesive after his first coat of paint. This layer provided texture to cover up any sanding marks or damage. I only suggest this now, as it would be a good time to apply the adhesive, if you would be so inclined, sir.
Derek did that, huh?
He did indeed, sir.
Well, can't argue with that.
Super 77 it is.
I am curious, sir, do you believe the extra steps with the Super 77 spray adhesive was a success?
Absolutely, yes indeed. It's hidden any imperfections. It's added a really nice texture. It's gonna look really good when we weather this up. Okay, new paint trim is done. What's next? Can you pull up a checklist for me? Okay, all right, that looks good. I think we're about ready for assembly here.
I wonder, sir, before you assemble, have you given any thought to the backpack?
Yeah, that does need a bit more detail, doesn't it? Maybe we can do something with this. Antennas always seem to give an extra look.
I completely agree, sir. And just what is this antenna made of?
Random junk from the Greebly box, my friend. Just like everything else around here.
Everything all right, sir?
Yeah, we're good. Everything's assembled, electronics are in. I think it's time.
For the weathering, sir?
For the weathering.
I think it's time, sir.
You know I'm no Tony Stark. I mean, there's a good chance I don't even get you uploaded into the Gonk, and you're just gone.
I calculate there is an 84.3% chance that is likely to happen, sir.
That's better odds than I thought.
Shall we begin, sir?
Okay, Bolts, you in there? Bolts? Come on, talk to me, buddy. So much for the 84%.
I am only joking, sir. I am integrated and online.
Fantastic, man. You know, I'd give you a high five, but you don't have any arms.
Good one, sir. You got me with that one.
And just like that, finally, we have a finished Gonk Droid. Now, there really isn't an intended moral to this story. After all, I'm just a chubby Star Wars geek, playing make-believe in my garage with a bunch of power tools, remember? But if there was a point, if I was trying to make a point, it would be simple. Don't get down on yourself if you start something and you need to step away for a bit. Give yourself a break. Remember why you're doing this. It's for the love of making. It's to give yourself an escape. And most of all, remember, you're building something out of nothing.